Are you wondering, why can't you kill your targets easily despite using the pro builds? Even though you have seen those pro players dominate the enemy tanks completely, but when you decided to copy their builds and try to use them in real games, you always end up having the enemy low enough to escape. And sometimes you feel your damage still lacks a lot and can't even lower your target's HP to half. Worry not, because in this video, I will let you know what pros never tell you about itemization. After watching this video, you will definitely increase your chances of getting those kills where your enemies run away at 1 HP. The secret to all of this is penetration. Before we dive into the concept of penetration, it is important to know how MLBB calculates a hero's damage output. To avoid any misunderstanding that claim I have come out with random numbers, let me show you some evidence using Sylvana. Sylvana's passive is able to reduce target's hybrid defense. By clicking the note button in the passive description, you will notice how much the actual damage your target will take. As you can see, the formula of actual damage taken is 120 divided by 120 plus defense. Although it isn't clearly stated, it is safe for us to assume each point of penetration ignores 1 point of defense. Also in MLBB, percent penetration is calculated first, followed by flat pen. So we can further derive the formula as this. The reason why I need you to know this formula is because I want to show you that raw penetration is more value than raw attack attribute. Based on the graph, when the target's defense is reduced, your damage is greatly increased. In the early game, everyone's defense is low, so you will get more benefits if you buy penetration items. I know a lot of people like to buy BOD or HC early to get a lot of attack attribute, but remember, they are expensive. Yes, I know they can greatly increase the attack power and final damage, but in this video, I want to introduce you to a more cost-effective combo, allowing you to get penetration items and other passives at a low price, gaining huge advantage in the early game. In other words, while everyone is still farming and upgrade their equipment, you who choose the penetration equipment will have your actual output greatly increased in percentage. Of course, we still cannot ignore the attack attribute in the late game, but MLBB is a fast-paced game, so the most important thing is to dominate the early game. Especially in the laning phase, you can create an early advantage and even out-farm your enemy. At this point, some people may want to ask, if I have the ultimate item like BOD in the early winning game, can I deal the highest damage? My answer may surprise you. The answer is no. What? I will use Beatrix to do an experiment to support my argument.
I'm the flare that's gonna light up the entire star!
Beatrix is a hero that many people like to buy BOD as her first item. Renna. Beatrix with penetration has a higher damage than Beatrix with BOD, and this is without Heptasia's passive. You can clearly see that the basic attack damage on the right is about 100 higher than the left, which means that when spending 2,780 golds to stack a big pen and a small pen, the damage can be higher than the BOD costing 3,010 golds. If that doesn't convince you, now let's look at the other gun, Wesker. Likewise, Beatrix with penetration obviously deals much more damage. Now let's look at everyone's favorite, Nibiru. Likewise, Beatrix with penetration obviously deals much more damage. And finally, Bennett. The result was as expected, the right one won again. What I want to say is that penetration item allows you to deal very high damage in the early mid-game. Most importantly, it is very cost-effective to buy penetration item first. In MLBB or any MOBA game, as long as you perform well in the early game, you can easily farm and get the ultimate attack item earlier. Although I use Heptasia's Beatrix plus Fury Hamer as an example in this video, you can use more penetration combo than this one, but this is just one example, and it is mainly to deliver a message. You can apply the same concept to other heroes, not just Beatrix. I hope you learned something new from this video and try it out on other burst heroes. For example, when playing Cho or Kadita, don't buy Endless Battle or Lightning Truncheon as the first item and ignore the penetration item, low benefits and too expensive. Well, that's all for this video. If you like it, please like and share it. I'm Boba Meow. See you in the next video. Bye.